An NYPD officer hailed as a hero becomes the center of a dark investigation. A shattered marriage, forbidden love, and a chilling murder-for-hire scheme unfold. What pushed this decorated officer to the edge? Join us as we dive into the tangled web of lies, betrayal, and desperation that shocked a community. On May 17, 2019, two detectives arrived at a home in Oceanside, just outside New York City, with tragic news. The recipient was Valerie Cincinelli, a decorated NYPD officer with 12 years of service. In 2017, Valerie was celebrated for apprehending a bank robber. But this time, she was on the receiving end of the law. Detective Finnegan of Suffolk County Police and his partner informed Valerie that her husband, 32-year-old Isaiah Carvalho, had been found dead in his car at a marina parking lot 50 miles away. Stricken with disbelief, Valerie insisted she couldn't believe the news. As a police officer herself, she struggled to accept the reality unfolding before her. Isaiah worked for Caterpillar, a construction equipment company, and ran a side business, selling fireworks. When asked if Isaiah had enemies, Valerie mentioned a shady fireworks client, but couldn't imagine a motive for harm. Behind Valerie's grief, however, lay a complicated web of deception and betrayal. Valerie first met Isaiah in 2010 through his stepfather, Patrick Roach, a veteran NYPD officer. They married in 2014 and had a son, Sal. The early years of their marriage were promising, marked by shared dreams and aspirations. Valerie's career as an NYPD officer was flourishing, and Isaiah's entrepreneurial ventures seemed to add a sense of stability to their lives. But cracks began to appear as the pressures of work and family life took their toll. Valerie often worked long hours, and Isaiah's demanding schedule left little room for quality time together. Miscommunication and unresolved disagreements started to fester. By 2016, their relationship was strained, with Valerie confiding in close friends about her growing unhappiness. Around this time, Isaiah expressed frustration over Valerie's perceived emotional distance and her increasing involvement in work-related events. In 2017, Valerie's attention shifted to John Daruba, a man she met through mutual acquaintances. John was a jack of all trades, flipping houses, running a tattoo parlor, and even writing a cookbook. Once head of security for the glam rock band Trickster, John's glory days had faded. Divorced and raising a teenage daughter, John was vulnerable when Valerie approached him, claiming she was unhappily married. Their affair quickly escalated, with Valerie sending John flirtatious messages and meeting him in secret. John eventually met her children under the guise of being a friend named Mary. Valerie painted Isaiah as controlling and abusive, promising John she would soon divorce him. Despite her portrayal, friends of Isaiah described him as a devoted father and hardworking individual, further complicating the narrative. By the time Isaiah moved out in 2017, the relationship had devolved into a series of heated arguments and mutual accusations. Friends and family on both sides described an increasingly volatile dynamic, with Valerie accusing Isaiah of emotional manipulation and Isaiah lamenting Valerie's alleged lack of commitment to the family. Their son, Sal, often found himself caught in the crossfire, adding an emotional weight to their separation. Isaiah's decision to file for divorce was met with mixed reactions. While he believed it was the best course of action for their family's well-being, Valerie reportedly saw it as a betrayal, further fueling her resentment. Her portrayal of Isaiah to friends and colleagues painted a picture of a man unwilling to support her ambitions or recognize her sacrifices as a working mother and police officer. However, Isaiah's co-workers at Caterpillar described him as a kind and diligent man who often spoke fondly of his family, creating a stark contrast to Valerie's allegations. As the divorce proceedings unfolded, The custody battle over Cell became a contentious issue. Valerie, determined to retain primary custody, argued that Isaiah's unpredictable work hours and side business made him unfit to provide a stable environment. Isaiah countered by highlighting Valerie's erratic behavior, including her growing obsession with John Daruba and her alleged threats toward his family. Valerie's initial suggestion to John about eliminating Isaiah seemed, at first, like an offhand remark born of frustration. However, her persistence soon revealed a darker intent. Recorded conversations between the two captured Valerie meticulously discussing potential scenarios, from orchestrating a robbery gone wrong to implicating Isaiah's fireworks clients in a fatal dispute. John's cooperation with the FBI added a layer of complexity to the case. While his recordings were crucial in building the case against Valerie, his own past, including financial troubles and accusations of infidelity, raised questions about his credibility as a witness. Valerie's defense team capitalized on these doubts, portraying John as a manipulative opportunist who exploited Valerie's vulnerability for personal gain. The staged murder scene was a turning point. When FBI agents showed Valerie the doctored image of Isaiah, her reaction was closely scrutinized. Though initially panicked, she quickly composed herself, prompting investigators to believe she had mentally prepared for the possibility of being questioned. The discovery of detailed notes in her home, outlining contingency plans and alibis, further bolstered the prosecution's case. The trial captured national attention, with courtroom spectators and media outlets fixated on the unraveling drama. Legal experts debated the strength of the prosecution's evidence, particularly the reliance on John's testimony and the staged murder scene. Valerie's attorneys argued that the government's tactics bordered on entrapment, emphasizing her lack of direct action to hire a hitman or make payments. Isaiah's testimony was particularly poignant. Speaking directly to the court, he recounted the fear and disbelief he experienced upon learning of the plot, as well as the lasting impact on his sense of security. "The person I trusted most in the world was plotting to end my life," he said. "No one should ever have to live with that kind of betrayal." Following her release, Valerie resigned from the NYPD and started a new career as a personal trainer in Oceanside, New York. Reports suggest she has largely kept a low profile, focusing on rebuilding her life and mending relationships with her family. Isaiah continues to work at Caterpillar, while John returned to acting and lives in Queens. Valerie's case remains a cautionary tale of how jealousy and desperation can lead to devastating consequences. Meanwhile, public reactions to the case have varied. Some view Valerie's punishment as insufficient, given the gravity of her actions, while others see her story as a sobering reminder of the complexities of mental health and strained relationships. The legal proceedings highlighted the thin line between private turmoil and public tragedy, leaving an indelible mark on all those involved.